Happy New Year. It's 2021. This is our first podcast. Welcome to the Blue Tower here in Manchester. This is a Blue Tower production. I am James.
And I'm Warren, and welcome to the podcast. It is, in fact, New Year's. It's 2021, and it's our first one of the year. Yay!
Yeah. Still in lockdown, though.
Right.
Well, a new lockdown. Lockdown 3.
Lockdown 3, and what we're doing today is House from 1985.
Yes. 1985 horror comedy.
Yeah, all that. Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, so today we are talking about House from 1985, where a author has inherited a house from his auntie, and strange things start to happen in the house.
Yep, weird things start to happen in the house.
Yeah.
And it's a haunted house, isn't it, basically?
Yeah. So what's the synopsis of it?
Well, it's a bit of a short one. I'm reading this off, what is it now? Rotten Tomatoes. So I think it just kind of sums it all up, really. A mounted fish moves, house objects levitate, and monsters haunt a troubled novelist. It's called Our Roger, and the tagline is "Ding dong, you're dead." And it also has, "You're cordially invited to spend an evening with Roger Corb and his friends. Don't come alone." That's another thing as well.
That's weird.
Yeah, don't come alone. So it's 1985. What's it about? What's the movie about? What's going on?
Well, it's billed as a comedy, but some of the themes they address in the movie, sometimes you're like thinking, where's this going? And then it goes into comedy, and it's quite dark. Some of the stuff that goes on in it.
Yeah, the tone. I think the tone sort of like it kind of goes all over the place, doesn't it? It's like 1 minute it's kind of wanting to be horror,
Yeah.
and then the next it's kind of slacky comedy.
Yeah, slapstick comedy, ha 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 sort of thing. So I think if they'd stuck with the interesting part about him being a Vietnam War hero and PTSD and his descent into madness, I thought that would have been a good thing, but it just turned into a bit of a, I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of throws in a lot of
mix and match,
what is it now? Threads in it, isn't there? So he's divorced from his wife.
Yeah. So
divorced.
It starts off showing a nice Georgian house, doesn't it? Starts off with a Georgian house,
and with a bit of creepy music on it.
Yeah, and a delivery guy, which is very much on point with lockdown, on his bike comes up to the Georgian house with the groceries.
He's a grocery delivery to Mrs. Hooper.
Yeah.
And it's got the trope that I always point out now.
Yeah.
Whenever they come with a brown bag, it's always got a lettuce sticking out, isn't it?
Yeah, the old lettuce theory.
It's not a theory, it's definitely correct.
Well, it's a thing.
All 80s movies, every time you see someone coming back with groceries, they have a brown bag with lettuce sticking out. You'll see it every time now. You'll see it. And this particular film, we have Mr. Grocery. He has to introduce himself, the grocery guy, Mr. Grocery, and he's there to give groceries to Mrs. Hooper, who's self-isolating, isn't she?
Yeah. So it was obviously seen into the future. She managed to get a slot for her delivery to be taken to a nice Georgian house. So it's daylight, it's and he's coming in, he's let himself in there, and he must do it on a regular basis, and he's calling out for Mrs. Hooper.
Yeah, Mrs. Hooper.
So he's walking around, Mrs. Hooper, where are you? And then she goes upstairs and opens the door, and bang, an old woman's hanging from the ceiling, and like I said, it's just like, what? And it's an actual woman, the old woman hanging. And mean, there's no holding the back the punches there, is there? It's quite whoa.
Well, that was the first shocker, wasn't it? And then does she say the words, "Oh, this house lies," and then she? Oh no, sorry, unless she's already dead, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's dead.
Yeah, so it's swinging. So I thought, all right, so you know, this might actually be quite a gruesome horror movie. This. So then it cuts to our main guy Roger, who is signing books now. Like you said, this is a massive information dump on us. There's people shouting out at him saying, "Oh, I love your work." So he's a writer, he's a horror writer, and we find out that he's divorced from his more successful actress wife. Is that right? Because you got someone saying, "Oh, I love your wife," and he goes, "Yeah, we're divorced now." And we find out during this signing that he's an army vet from Vietnam, because one of his fans going, "Oh, what book are you going to write next?" And he goes, "Oh, well, I'm writing a piece about my time in Vietnam." And it's quite funny because like the guy's obviously thinking, "Well, that's not really what I'm after. I'm after more of your horror movie, horror books."
And they got several trope people in the queue, I noticed as well. They had the punk girl, didn't they?
Yeah, classic 80s punk girl.
Weird guy.
Yeah,
kind of really
nerdy guy. Yeah, so they're all there getting their books signed by him, and then it shows him and his agent walking along, and they're having an argument about this new book, and he says, "No, I need to write this book about my time in Vietnam." Then it shows him going back to his typical 80s pad.
Yeah, he goes back to the flat, doesn't he? And he's got like microwave meals, isn't it?
So it's showing a bit of a sad individual. He's all alone, and he's got his computer open, and it's got one of the very old 80s computers. It's got a title, I can't remember what it's, Myself in Vietnam or something like that.
I think it was Discovering Myself.
Yeah, in Vietnam or something like that. And then he gets a phone call from his ex-wife who's at this award ceremony, and he pretends to put on, he puts on some music, and he's pretending that he's got friends over, and she's like, oh, I just missed out on this award, and he says, oh yeah, sorry, I can't stop because the guys are all, you know, playing poker, so he's so he's not doing too well.
And then the thing is about with this, it's a bit confusing because like he has to go back to the house, doesn't he? Because like the wife says, "Oh, are you going to go back to the house? Aren't you? It's just not healthy for you." Doesn't she?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, she said, "Oh, this is not helpful. You going back to the house where his auntie was."
Yeah.
So like this is a bit confusing to me. Like,
yeah. So
did he live in that house?
Yeah.
And his auntie, so his auntie and they must have left because what happened to the kid?
I think so. Yeah. So he goes. So the house is up for sale, and he goes back to the house, and then we meet the sales guy who then gives him a tour around the house, and on the walls there's like Dali-esque paintings. You notice that?
I didn't notice. No.
Dali, the one who painted pictures of weird.
Oh, abstract. Oh, right. Abstract, yeah.
Melting clocks and things like that. So his auntie was a bit of an artiste, and he goes, "Oh, I don't need a tour around because I used to live here." And then he has a flashback. Where
there's a lot of this in this movie. There's a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah. Sorry. Before that, when he's at his flat, he phones up the FBI and asks about his son. Don't it? So it's established that his son is also missing. Yeah. So the son's about 5-6 years old. So back at the house, he has a flashback, and his son Jimmy is in the garden. And then all of a sudden he disappears, and running around, and he goes to the front, and a car's pulling away at the front, out the front, isn't it?
Yeah. So it gives the indication that he's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped. And then he runs. Then he hears splashing in the pool, and he runs back, and then he sees his son in the pool, flapping away, and then he dives in to save him, and then he disappears.
Which I thought was a bit odd. It was like really?
So it's then so the son is basically gone, disappeared, and the police have come, and then the auntie in this flashback is just saying, "Oh, it's the house that did it. It's the house. The house took your son," and so that's why he left and left the house in the first place.
And then really surprising, they got this harpoon out. The agency guy gets the harpoon out, and then he kills the guy. It was like, whoops, nearly.
Yeah. So in the house there's so many fish. There's a big kingfisher fish, swordfish, massive swordfish. His uncle caught the biggest one in over 2 years. He was like a champion for 2 years because his big massive swordfish. Yeah, and the retailer has got this harpoon. He just shoots it. I mean, Christ! I mean, it shoots at the actor, and he misses it. I wonder if he did it in reverse. That bit.
Yeah, I was under that. Yeah. But it's very sloppily. Yeah, I mean, just randomly shooting harpoons at people.
And he just goes. Oh, I'm sorry, and Roger's face is just like, what on earth are you doing? And so Roger tells the guy, listen, I'm not selling. I'm not selling the house.
He's going to move back in.
I'm going to move in, and I'm going to write my book. I want a bit of solitude. So he moves in, and
straight away, creepy things start to happen, don't they?
Yeah. What's the thing that is it the swordfish one? No. It's the
he sees his aunt killing herself.
Yeah. So he sees his auntie saying the house knows. The house knows,
tricks you. Yeah,
tricks you, and it will get you. It will get you. And is that when the monster in the cup? He's
no, he basically what happens? He goes up and sees his auntie trying to kill herself, and then he kind of has a bit of an episode. Goes, oh no, what happened? And then he goes back to bed, and then it's daytime. And then he's taking out some trash.
And sees a hot neighbour.
And then sees... Well, no, we don't know it's a hot neighbour. It's just a...
Classic 80s.
This is 80s, yeah. Again, a classic 80s, if you can think about it.
Blonde hair, thin, in leotard.
Yeah.
She's running down and she goes, hi there. And then that's when we're introduced to... Norm. Norm from Cheers, who's the next door neighbour. I like to think that this... it's in the same universe as Cheers, but it's not filmed in Boston. But I like to think that. So Norm, the actor is Norm. He can't play anything else but Norm.
I was struggling to sort of like remember his name. I can't even remember the character's name.
It's just Norm, innit? I'm just going to call him Norm. So Norm he's talking to Roger and he goes, yeah, the old woman, she was completely batshit crazy. Yeah, she was a complete loon. And Roger goes, that's me auntie. And without missing a beat, he goes, yeah, but heart of gold though.
Yeah, I thought that was quite funny. Yeah, I think Norm is sort of like the comedy piece, isn't he? Really, he's like,
he brings the comedy, and he's like the audience looking at Roger and all the antics that he gets up to. So during this movie, Roger is writing his Vietnam story, and it keeps flashbacks to when he was in Vietnam, and he's with his army troop, and he's deep in Vietnam, and being attacked by the Vietnamese, and there's one character called Ben who's like his buddy. Sort of thing.
Sort of his mate.
Yeah, his mate, Big Ben, they call him. So we keep getting flashbacks to that. So we then get the monster in the cupboard.
Yeah, he basically have he basically sees dead son, and then he sees his dead son again, I think, and through the window and turns him off.
Yeah,
and then he hears something going up in another room, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and then he kind of goes up, and then it's a bit of a shock, really. He opens a door. This is at midnight.
Yeah, and straight away
then this massive big monster comes out. That was horrendous. It was a proper little monster. It was like
it was a big monster.
It was a big, huge monster.
Big, massive, proper no CGI.
Yeah, no CGI. It was it's a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, so he tries to grab hold of him. He manages to close the cupboard, and then he starts running around the house, and that's when the swordfish starts to come alive. That's right, isn't it?
No. I don't know. No, he goes back. He basically he sees that image, and then cut to the day, and he buys all this equipment.
Oh yeah, he sets up all the cameras, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and opens the door, but it's not there because it's not midnight.
Yeah,
and at some point he
does look like he sets it all up.
And then
he runs away, does a little dance, and then he ends up outside.
And Norm is like, right
on his like lawn with his dog.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what's Norm doing now with his dog?
Yeah,
on his lawn.
And it's just like, you're right. How are you doing? And he's going, yeah. I'm just writing my book. So I thought it was going to be him, doing all this stuff.
Norm. Yeah, I thought it was as well.
And Norm's seen him doing all this batshit crazy stuff, and it's not really happening to him. And
that's what I thought. I thought that they were going to go into the more of his mental state rather than anything else.
Yeah. So we get the. Is it the sword? Is it the swordfish bit now?
No. Roger tries to explain about the monster to Norm. It's basically midnight again, and Norm comes round, and he opens the same door where the monster was, and it's not there. Yeah. So he says, "Oh well, no, I don't believe you." So he's getting a bit worried now. He's our Norm.
Yeah.
Then Norm seems to So Norm. Seems to know Roger's ex-wife's number and phones her up.
No, well, he took the phone book from the table.
Oh, I didn't see. Oh, I was probably writing notes at the time.
I think you were making your dinner. Yeah, so he actually swiped his phone book, which I thought was weird at the time. But then he phones his actress wife up, says, "Oh, I'm concerned about Roger." About what he's up to, and she goes, "All right, okay, I'll try and go and see him at some point, but I've got a early start for me movie or TV series or whatever it is."
And then Roger has another flashback to Nam, and this point I've just put taking point. So this is setting up to be that they go out, both of them.
Yeah,
they go out alone.
Yeah,
to see what's going ahead. And then a kid's toy appears. Is it Jimmy's? I put his little car toy comes, and then your favourite part. And your favourite part is
the swordfish.
Yes, the dead fish
starts
comes alive.
So if you remember the singing fish from years and years ago. Do you remember that phenomenon where it was everyone was buying that fish? Don't worry, be happy.
Oh yeah, but this was a huge fish.
Yeah, but it just reminded me of that. So the fish started to act up, and he runs and gets his shotgun, and he's then chased by axes from axes and other stuff from the garage into
like massive big scissors.
Yeah.
Cut the hedges
shears.
with. Shears.
So
And
so
he
it's
runs off- yeah.
So chase around the house with that. He then kills. He kills. So he's upstairs, and then he comes down. So during this movie, he's actually in his Vietnam army gear, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like, right, is he really? He's got a bit of PTSD here, and he's in his fatigues. And then he runs downstairs, and the door opens, and it's his wife. His ex-wife is there, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he's still got his shotgun with him, and then she goes down to pick up some shells, doesn't she, from the shotgun, and you see her disappearing underneath the table, and then reappears, and it's this big blobby woman.
It's like a dead, decomposing woman.
Yeah, big.
that's the best way to describe her.
So he then shoots this big blobby woman, and she falls down, and then he goes towards her, and then he realizes, oh, it's my wife.
It's the wife.
Yeah.
Oh, I've shot her.
Yeah. So you see her fall outside the house. So it's daytime, and woman on the floor outside, and Norm, his next door, is woken up, and he looks outside, and so again, this is the point of view of Norm. So who's looking at all this, and then he sees all this. He picks up the phone and dials 911, and he goes, "Yeah, I'd like to report." And then he's like pauses, doesn't he? He pauses and goes, "Yeah, I want to report a suspected suicide attempt." I was like, "Oh right, so he's not seen the woman; he's just seen."
Yeah, he couldn't see because there was a hedge there, so he was obscuring the view.
No. You don't see what, because all you see is Norm go to the window. You don't see his you don't see his point of view. You just see him go to the window, assuming it's overlooking. So then I thought, right, so it's obviously all in his mind. This, and I thought, all right, so there's nothing there, and you just see him with the shotgun, and that's why he said, "Oh, I want to report an attempted suicide." So the police rock up. And so Roger then drags the missus in, who's dead, and bundles her into a cupboard underneath the stairs. And the police come, and
they're big fans of his.
Yeah, they're big fans of his, and they have a cup of coffee.
Are you that Roger who did that book?
Yeah.
Why, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Would you like an autograph?
Yeah, and Norm's there, and the officers are having coffee, and obviously he's scared, thinking that they're going to find this dead body, and they then leave, and then Norm leaves, and then he opens up the cupboard door, and the body's not there. So again, as someone who's watching, they're thinking, right, so he's obviously in his own head here. Norm said it was a suicide attempt, so is he, having a mental breakdown here? And what happens then?
Well, the body's gone. Chris turns up, fights. This huge blade, random girl appears. All right, okay. So he basically goes up to the room where that cupboard is. And opens it up.
Yeah, the shotgun goes missing, doesn't it? And he goes upstairs to the cupboard, the room where the cupboard is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Opens the door, and then this big blobby woman with a shotgun knocks him out. Then
knocks him out. And they have like a bit of a scuffle, don't they?
Yeah.
And then he uses the objects that he trapped in one door to kill her by chopping her head off.
Yeah, I didn't get that. What so the floating knives and shears appear, don't they? And then kill the blobby woman.
Well, yeah, that's probably just a random thing. I don't know.
I didn't get that because they were floating. So I'm assuming it's the house.
Yeah, I don't know.
The house and the blobby one were the same thing. So I didn't really get that.
But like, she gets killed anyway, and then he has to dispose of the body
in bits.
In bits.
Yeah. So, but the sexy neighbour, is in the pool.
I thought that was a bit random. I thought, hello, who's this then? Well, why? Because it was the 80s jogger, wasn't it?
Yeah. So the sexy neighbour said, "Oh yeah, your auntie used to let me, use the pool. So I thought I'd just use it." And he's got this blobby woman in the bin bag, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just planting a tree." And she wanders off. He goes, "All right, okay."
Is that the saplings?
Yes.
Do you like to play? I know when a man wants to work, and I know when a man wants to play.
Swedish
and you
blonde.
like to play, don't you? And he goes, "Yes, I do."
So she's actually 1977 Miss World, or was she Miss Sweden?
Was she? I don't know.
Yeah, really, just really 80s trope, that blonde hair, foreign, slim build, in a bikini, proper 80s bikini as well. So she wanders off, and then he digs different holes for the body. So he's digging all that up, and then
making more hard work for himself. I don't. Yeah, a bit weird that.
Yeah.
But they does all that, and then it's all kind of, was it? What is it now? Where is he now? He ends up. Oh right, sorry. The dog turns up, doesn't he? Norm's dog.
Yeah, Norm's dog is dug up one of Blobby's hands and runs off with a hand, and then sexy neighbour turns up with her son.
Yay!
So she's so on the back of the so she barely knows this guy. Met him twice. Once when he'd come out of the swimming pool, and she says, "Right, you're gonna look after my son," and just like, what? And on the back of the son is the hand from Mrs. Blobby. For some reason,
he just turns up, doesn't he?
Crawls. So Roger sees this and start chasing after the kid, and eventually gets hold of the oh god, the kid's hair. Oh man, the kid's so this 5-year-old kid.
Yeah,
it was amazing. It was like a proper little dude with a proper 80s mullet.
But I didn't really notice really. What?
How could you not notice? It was like business at the front and party at the back. I mean, it was like absolutely awesome little mullet. I mean, on a kid like that as well. I just thought that's brilliant. That and he had a tight perm as well, didn't he? He had a tight perm, and the foreign sexy lady was proper 80s bouffant hair as well. So. Lots of hair going on, and knitwear for him as well. He had at one point he had a knitwear jumper that had a V all the way down, almost past his his navel.
Yeah,
just like bloody hell. So let's get back on track. So he managed to get rid of the hand on the kid by flushing it down the toilet, and then whilst the kid is there, he's kidnapped by two characters we haven't seen before in the same kind of type of style as Mrs. Blobby, big eyes, big mouths, and they kidnap the kid, try to take him up the chimney, but Roger managed to grab hold of the kid, and there's a tug of war, and he managed to get the kid off these two. I don't know what to call them, but they never reappear again.
No, I think that's pretty wasted time. Really, it's like they turned up once, don't they? And then then that's it, and then they've gone. And then after all that trauma, he gives the kid a bath, and then hands it back over to the mother.
Yeah,
and
says thank you, goodbye. Yeah,
thanks, bye now.
Yeah.
And the kid just goes, that's it, bye.
So we get another flashback. So he keeps trying to write the story, and he gets another flashback to Vietnam. So they're on point, him and Big Ben. Big Ben is going. I'm going to try and find some Charlie, which is the Vietnam Cong, and he gets shot by the Vietnamese, and Roger comes up to him, and Ben is saying, "Kill me now, just kill me, Roger." And he gets the sword, gets a knife, and he's got it at his throat. And Roger goes, "No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it." And then he,
well, you've missed a massive big bit here.
which
The thing is, that doesn't. No, well, hang on a minute. So Norm comes round at midnight, doesn't he?
Oh.
And then Roger tried to persuade him to kill this raccoon that is stayed in the room. So he gets a harpoon again, doesn't he? And gives it to Roger. Gives it to Norm. Goes here. As soon as I open this door, there's going to be a raccoon that comes out, and Norm goes, "Okay, sure." Yeah. And then he opens the door, and the big monster goes, "Ah!"
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it to be there.
Yeah, and he comes back, and Norm's like, "What the?" He goes, "Shoot him!"
Yeah.
And he shoots him, and he goes, "Shoot him again!" He goes, "It's a harpoon. How can you shoot it again?" And then Roger gets dragged.
Yeah, he gets tied up in these.
Drags through, and he gets transported back to
Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam.
This is where
like
the chicken bit happens, when he chickens out killing Big Ben, doesn't he? That's when it happens.
Yeah. So it's like a Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. He gets dragged in, and so he can't kill Ben, and he just runs off to get help, and then he sees the Vietnamese take Ben and drag him off into the forest, and then he runs. Roger runs back through the cupboard. Lands in the room where Norm has passed out drinking Jack Daniels.
I thought it was quite fun.
Yeah. So he drags Norm back to his house and puts him to bed or something like that. And he what's he do then? He finds
the painting.
Yeah, the paint. So the painting was seen when he's been having a tour of the house. And I noticed in the top left-hand corner, as you're looking at it, there was a piece of towel draped over it. I was like, well, that's a bit... I was like thinking, why is that towel carefully placed over the picture, the painting there? I was like, is that going to come back?
What do you know? It did.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to call it the Chekhov towel, but I thought, nah, I can't. I mean, you could do, couldn't you? So he finds the painting again, and it's a painting of a woman at the door. Now, I think that's representing the cupboard, and it's got a light, and he takes the towel off, and he sees the bathroom cabinet mirror, and he sees his son trapped in the mirror.
Help me, Papa, help me.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, right, so he runs down to the bathroom, opens the bathroom cabinet, and obviously it's just medication and a shelf. And he goes, and he closes it, and then he breaks the mirror, and it's got a portal into the void, into a void. So he gets his climbing gear, shotgun, and then he lures himself into this void, and you get these creatures flying at him with skulls, and they manage to get the gun off him, and then they shoot him down, and he ends up falling into water, and he ends up swimming, and he ends up like Vietnam again.
Yeah, he's going back to Vietnam.
He's back in Vietnam, and he sees his kid Jimmy in a bamboo. That's it. Bamboo prison, and he goes over, and
he's been there all the time.
Yeah. So again, I'm thinking perhaps he's just thinking this in his head now. He's gone full loco, and he's obviously somewhere just dreaming about this. And the kid goes, what does he go? It goes,
he'll be back soon.
He'll be back, and then all of a sudden, shots fire out, and you just see this darkened figure. You don't actually see who's shooting him, and they dive into the water where it was Vietnam, and then they resurface where the pool is. So the pool was some sort of portal into wherever that was.
Upside down world.
Yeah, I suppose you could say
that's a reference to what's it a reference to?
What?
Stranger Things.
Oh.
No, you've not seen Stranger Things, have you?
No, not Big Strange. No. I might do it when it's 20 years from now. So he's found his son, Jimmy. So Jimmy was trapped in this netherworld by someone.
Yeah. There was only a shadow of him down there, but it was like, oh, undo this is then.
So he goes back into the house. Then he
goes to the door, doesn't he? And opens up, and who is there?
It's none other than
Big Ben.
Big Ben. So Big Ben is now almost a skeleton. He's in his armor fatigue. He's in tatters, and he's got his big machine gun. So
fantastic makeup.
Yeah, it was
one of the best I've seen. Because this is 1985.
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
So it transpires that Ben was taken by the Vietnamese, and he was tortured for weeks on end. And Ben blames Roger
because he chickened out, didn't he?
Because he chickened out on killing him. So he's back for revenge he wants to kill Roger's son, which is a bit weak, bit of a strange twist in the whole story.
It was just like a long and complicated revenge story.
I just like
which involved his kid, his auntie, a house, portals to another dimension.
Yeah,
all this to get him there. I mean, he could have just popped into his his flat and killed him.
Yeah, I mean, he had his son already, so why didn't he just kill him then? So it then begins. He's chasing around Roger in the house. Saying, why didn't you kill me? Why didn't you kill me? Etc. Etc. And Roger ends up on the roof. Tries to hit Big Ben, and he's running through the house, and then he goes through some doors, and the house then appears to be over a cliff.
What do you know?
Yeah. And he's kind of hanging on. He falls out. He's hanging on for dear life, and Ben's going cackling away. So Roger then managed to somehow get his belt, off and lasso Ben's arm and drag Ben. It falls down onto the cliffs, splat, dead. So you think that's it, but then he gets up, goes into the house, finds Jimmy, and then Ben appears again, don't he?
Just like, they always come back for seconds, don't
they? So Roger then confronts him and goes, I'm not scared of you anymore. You can't do anything because Ben's got this knife to his son's throat. You can't do anything. You can't do anything to me.
It says basically, I'm no longer afraid of you.
Yeah.
So this must have been like plaguing him for absolute years. Then.
Yeah, I know. Survive. Well, I mean, the flashbacks are only like he's still young, so it's only a few years, if that. So he gets the.
When was Vietnam then? Was it?
The 80s, wasn't it? I'm sure.
1980 something.
So he gets a hand grenade from Ben and stuffs it in his body. takes Jimmy, and Ben explodes into lots of pieces. Bang. That starts the fire in the house. And at this point, the ex-wife turns up in a taxi, sees the house in flames.
She's not dead. Yay.
Yeah. Norm is there, looking at this house, and Roger then emerges with Jimmy in his arms, and they are reunited as one big happy family.
And it's kind of cheesy. He goes, then it looks. Does he look at the camera and this little, it's like cheesy music comes out, doesn't it? It's like little cheesy music.
Yeah, there's a couple of cheesy music moments.
Which is a bit off put because it kind of skewers what was actually what I thought was, you know, it was like kind of serious, but then he was like kind of cheesy music played out. It was like, what?
Yeah, it's just So that's where it ends. The movie, the family are reunited. Bit of a strange one. This one, like I said, I would have been happy for it to be go down a darker route. I don't know if it was just different. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just a.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean. Like, so the on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it 57%, and the audience score was
Lower.
higher or lower. Lower, you are correct with 45%. Yeah, it was total count of 14 people. The professionals did it, so 14, and the audience score was out of 12,930 people who scored it. And my other favourite one, when was it released on streaming? When was it?
2015.
You bang on correct. Yeah, January 14th, 2015, the box office gross was 17.5 million, and it was rated R. It was horror comedy. There's not really much about it, really. I mean, I tried to look about what was about. I thought the house was actually on Paramount Studios. I thought it was like a mocked house, but apparently it wasn't.
No, it looks pretty.
I thought it was the Monsters house. I thought it was that.
No. The Monsters house is on Universal.
Yeah, the Universal.
Paramount.
I thought it was Universal Paramount. I thought it was there, and I was all the way through it. I thought that's got to be in it, the Monsters house, but no, it was. It was an actual house owned by two firefighters, apparently, and they did it all up. They mocked it all up. They painted the outside and various other stuff to it. So it was distributed by New World Pictures. Yeah.
Well,
budget was only 3 million, and box office 22 million.
I bet they paid $2 million for Norm.
I reckon, yeah. I mean, when this was 1985,
it's got to be peak Cheers time.
So when was Cheers on?
It's got to be peak Cheers.
Cheers. When was it? Cheers. I'll have a look.
Where everybody knows your name.
Cheers.
Do.
Cheers. Here we go.
And they're always glad you came.
Cheers sitcom. So, Cheers sitcom was from September the 30th, 1982. To May 20th, 1993. So yeah.
Oh yes, peak. It's really absolute peak Norm.
So he would have been in high demand there, and it was quite nice of him to be there. Nice when Norm turns up in a film. Now, are we doing your little?
Yes, it's the competition that is sweeping the nation. Whose synopsis is it anyway? Where we have got a book by Thomas Hodge, and he has produced a book called VHS Video Cover Art, and he's put in there 1980s video covers front and back, and I will be giving Warren the opportunity to guess the synopsis. Based on, first of all, the title. And if he gets the synopsis right with the title, he gets 3 points. And then we'll give him a tagline, and that will be 2 points. And finally, I will then describe the art cover, and he would only get 1 point from that.
Sweet.
So let's dive into it. Just to let you know that I've read the synopsis already, and I think you'll find it's going to be difficult for you.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Breaking Loose.
God, Breaking Loose. Right. Okay. Sounds like someone. He's divorcing. A divorced husband has gone away, and then his wife got murdered, and then he has to take revenge on the murderer. This is set in, I think, Los Angeles. Los Angeles.
No,
Completely wrong.
completely wrong.
Oh God! Right. Okay.
Right, I'm gonna read you the tagline. Life's a beach, then you die.
Right. Life's a beach. Right. Okay. So is it a group of surfers who are hell bent on keeping their beach clean from some toxic waste, and then they accidentally step into the waste, and then they become toxic.
No.
Right.
I'll describe you the art cover, which is drawn. Can't really tell. Yeah, drawn. I want to say drawn. So we've got on the front and centre, we've got a man with bleached hair, which is blonde, and he's doing the hang loose sign, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Hanging loose. Behind him is a female. You can see her backside with sunglasses. And below him is a group of people with machine guns. One's on a bike. Yeah, that's it.
Right. Okay. Right. Is it a copper, and he's trying to stop some drug smugglers, and then he picks up a lady who is like his decoy or something?
No.
Right. No idea.
Are you giving up?
Yeah, I got no idea.
Yeah. When I read this, I thought it ain't going to be good. Right. Stand by, because this is a long one. Ross Cameron is a walking time bomb, a defiant young man with a dangerous knack for getting into trouble. Sometimes he asks for it, more often it asks for him. When he is forced into a crazy game of chicking by a brutal motorcycle gang, the result is one dead biker and Ross on the run from both the law and the vengeful thugs. So he's basically been put I've had a game of chicken, and one of the bikes is dead.
Right.
The only person Ross can turn to is a hard-bitten surf bum.
Well, I got that bit right, didn't I?
Well, you got surf.
No, well, that's nearly right.
Who gives a young rebel sanctuary from his turbulent past. But life is about to catch up with Ross in a big way, and he knows if he's ever going to make it, this time he's really got to break it. Breaking Loose, an action-packed history story about growing up the hard way. So it was no other title for it. Distributed by Medusa Communications Limited. Released in 1989, and the artist who did the front cover was not applicable. I'll probably give you a point for getting Surfer and Gangsters. But other than that, yeah, I'll give you a point rereading that. Yeah, so that was 1 point. Yeah, so next week it'll be my turn to guess the synopsis in Whose Synopsis Is It Anyway?
I still got to get a theme tune for that.
theme tune. I might sing the theme tune and star in the theme tune.
Theme tune. Right, okay then. That was our first review of a film from 1985. So where can we get you on the socials then, James?
So this is one of 4 House movies. So they actually made a whole universe of these. So depending on the quality of them, because we all know that the further you go along, the quality of the film falls off a cliff. So we'll be watching them, and so next week might be doing House 2.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, nice one.
Yeah. So you can find me on Woodcop77 and on the grams at James Robert Johnson. Big shout out to the Chekhov Army. I know there wasn't a Chekhov today, but yeah, swings and roundabouts.
Okay.
Chekhov Army.
Okay, and then you can find me on Mr. Beard MCR on the Twitters and on the Instagram. You can also find my other podcasts, the Chef One Pandemic, also on the Apple, and you can or Spotify, wherever you want. I also do another after show to this podcast called I think what's it called now? What do I do? What's it called?
I don't know because you've never invited me on that.
Well, it's an after show, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just after show without me. Apparently,
it's just an after show, isn't it? It's just it's got music. It's got music in and everything.
Oh, well done.
And it's a bit more technical aspects of what I do and what happens. And I'm trying to fill here because I'm desperately trying to find. I mean, I've done it now a couple of times now, and I can't
remember it.
I can't remember what the hell it's called. Someone said I had good content on it on the Instagram. A couple of days. Oh no, here we go.
It doesn't count if you send your own messages.
Here we go. So it's called A Film Podcast, but got some music in it. That's on
Without James.
That's on. That's only on Spotify because it's got music in it from Spotify. So you got to have a subscription of £7 to access all the music in that, and that's what I do. It's only like a 20-minute one, so yeah. So that's the one after this one. Okay, gotta go. We'll see you next week. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.